Guys, it's me, T. Welcome back to Under the Willow Tree. Today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite Levi dolls. I have probably about 15 different versions of Levi, which I will be sharing some of them or most of them with you today. But I wanted to start off with this little guy who I bought secondhand. I have absolutely no idea who his artist is. I'm not going to lie about that. Whoever they are, they did an absolutely amazing job on him. He's definitely a little boy. He came dressed in the most beautiful vintage outfit, but we are changing him today. And we're going to add a little bit more weight to him today because he is almost too floppy for my liking. Don't get me wrong, I like a really floppy baby, but he definitely needs some more weight up top and maybe a little bit more filling. So I just want to start off by showing you his finer details before I put some fluff in him. He has absolutely gorgeous texture. And he's got all that fine baby hairs on top and peeling skin. And I kind of really do like the realism of the peeling skin. And I kind of want to bring him forward and show you his rooting job is absolutely amazing too. He's got beautiful, very light, delicate mohair, extremely light eyelashes and eyebrows. And he's actually, I don't know if he comes across the same way on camera as he does in person, but he's actually very light, almost like a peachy kind of newborn skin. And his hands, even his hands and his arms, they have peeling all over them. It's so very detailed. And I'm gonna just kind of bring up the other hand so you can see even right into the palm and on the top of his hands. Of course, it's coming across as a little shiny. I think that's just the lighting in my room right now because he is not shiny at all. And I'm going to bring up his little feet so you can see those. Again, really, really detailed, really pretty. Just a really amazing job. And it's got very light veining, a lot of little baby scratches. Definitely that newbie skin tone. And so I'm going to put this on pause and I'm going to fill him a little bit more and then I'm going to get him dressed and see how he comes out. And then I will be back with a few more of my Levi's. So guys, I'm back and I have weighted and dressed this little guy and I am quite happy with how he came out. He's still floppy and he still moves around great, but he's a little bit more weighted and it doesn't feel like his head's going to kind of fall off anymore. So I'm really, really thrilled with the way that he came out. And like I said, as you can see, he's got more weight in him now and a little bit more fluff. And his bottom feels more like when you're holding a baby. So really thrilled with how he came out. So guys, this is the next Levi I wanted to share with you. He is absolutely gorgeous also. He also has that texture, although it doesn't come across as strongly on camera. But I'm going to try to turn to the side where the light's going to hit him really good. And you can kind of see that texture. Very fine eyelashes, very fine eyebrows, very fine baby hair. His hair is absolutely amazing. He's got little baby scratches everywhere. And I want to let you guys know that all of these Levi's that I am showing you today are all authentic Bonnie Brown kits. They all came with their COAs. Some of them I do know who the artist was that created them. Some of them I do not know because I bought them on the second market, although they did come with their COAs. I absolutely love this one, and I tend to like to sit this particular doll with the other one that I showed you in the beginning. They pair really well together. And he himself he's weighty. Like, he's not super floppy. His head's a little floppy. But he's definitely a good 6.5 pounds. A lot of my babies do tend to be a good 6.5 pounds or more. Some of the ones I create myself tend to be even heavier. I have a few babies I've created that are about 8 pounds. So they definitely feel heavy in your arms, weighted in your arms, like if you were to be carrying around your newborn. And I like that. That's just my personal preference. I know some of you like your dolls a little bit less, more like on the 4.5 to 5 pound mark. But I like mine to feel like my kids did in my arms. And so that's part of what gives me that stress release when I'm holding my babies. So this, again, is my second Levi that I'm showing you out of my collection. I do love how this artist, and again, I'm trying to really get it across on camera here, when I'm tilting his head, he's got the finest veining, and it's absolutely beautiful in person. And as I'm looking at my camera, he's still not coming across quite as detailed as he actually is. I'm going to try to pull out a little bit, see if the camera can catch that, like on the top of his forehead, right through here. He has beautiful, beautiful veining, and he has it all over his arms and legs and his feet. He just is absolutely gorgeous. Got a little bit of a textured finish, as you can see. And so these are my Levi's by Real or Reborn. And they are just as gorgeous, just a little bit different from my two that have the rooted hair. And so what I love about reborning and buying from different artists rather than the same each time is you can see a mold of a doll, and one artist will have their rendition of it, what their vision is for it. And then another artist's vision of it could look so totally different that it's almost impossible to tell it's the same doll. Well, with Levi, we know he's pretty recognizable. But I'm still amazed over and over again how different an artist's rendition can be. And that's why I love to collect duplicate molds done by different nurseries or different artists. And again, I'm going to back it up so you can see a little bit more of these two. They are just like so beautiful. Just gorgeous. I will say I'm glad I got them when I did. It's getting harder and harder to purchase work for her from her nursery because it's going so quickly whenever she puts something up, because again, her artistry is just like top level, absolutely amazing, beautiful, and she's only gotten better over the years. I want to say I think I bought these guys somewhere around 4, maybe even 5 years ago off of Etsy, off of her website. So again, guys, Real or Reborn, absolutely amazing work. Two of my most favorite. I say that, but like every doll I could say is my favorite. I absolutely adore my dolls. Each one of them are so totally different from one another. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way about your collection. So I don't know why, but my camera keeps shutting off on me. think might be the way I'm holding it in my selfie stick. And when I go to back up and kind of show you or move it around, it kind of wants to cut out. So I want you to be able to see all the fine details on this particular Levi. And I really want to bring down where his fingers and hands are. So I love the fact that his fingers look like they've been gripping something, like they've just let go, where your fingertips get really red, and especially when you have an infant and you've had an infant holding your hand or your finger or clenching something for a long period of time, and they kind of let go, and you see how the redness is kind of gone to the tips of their fingers. This artist has done an amazing job with that. And there is some veining on the top of the hands. This doll has some major veining on the legs, feet. Not quite as much on the face as some of my other Levi's. But all in all, absolutely beautiful. I was really, really drawn to him. I think the little birthmark, little stork bite, kind of was one of the reasons why. But even the eyes, if you can, I'm going to pull into the eyes a little bit more. Just the fine veining. And he is textured. He's got a lot of milia running through his, like on his nose. And I feel like this one doesn't come across on camera as well as some of my others. But all in all, just absolutely beautiful baby. And I think at the end of this video, I'm going to try to take a span view of my camera and try to get all of my dolls so that you can kind of see the differences between all of them. Hopefully I can fit them all in. And I'm going to put the next one up. So this is the next one up. This baby was another Etsy buy. It is from a well-known nursery, although for some reason the name escapes me right now. I don't think that the nursery is functioning or making dolls right now. If I'm wrong, please somebody leave a message in the comments. Let me know if you know if that artist is still creating reborns. This is really unique for my collection because this particular reborn has rooted eyebrows, and they did an absolutely very realistic job with the eyebrows. They're not super heavy. I'm going to try to come into the face a little bit more. The rooting on this doll is amazing. It does have quite a head of hair. I'm going to go ahead and kind of pop the hat off a little bit so that I can show you. Of course, now his hair's been under a hat. There we go. I'm going to bring his head back. I'm losing you guys with the camera. Sorry about this. I'm trying to find the best way for me to show you. So he's got quite a head of hair, unlike my other Levi's. The reason I love this doll is he reminds me a lot of my nephew, who was born with like this amazing head of hair that I had. He almost looked like baby Elvis, and he had the sideburns when he was born. So this little guy reminds me a lot of my nephew Silas. So had to have him. He is a little bit different than my other Levi's. And so remember how before I was talking about how like every artist has their rendition of a certain sculpt and how they can look very different from each other. So when I do kind of show you all my Levi's together later, to me, yes, again, the Levi sculpt is highly recognizable, but it's what an artist does with it. Just the colors, the textures, the skin tone, the coloration of the hair, whether it's painted hair or rooted hair, and all those little fine details, they really make a difference. And it makes each one of them so unique. So I really kind of want to bring this doll's leg up. I want to show you and see if it comes across on camera. Yes, it does. There's a lot of heavy modeling on this baby. And his little toes are very, very red. More like a newborn. Although I wouldn't say that he definitely has the newborn skin tone. It's more of one that's probably a couple weeks old. Although the feet, I will say, very red. I mean, he's cute. He doesn't have as much detail on the feet as some of my others. But oh my gosh, he so makes up for that with his hairline and his little coloration in his face and his rooted eyebrows. He is really gorgeous. And what I also love about him is he is slightly over 8 pounds. So where most of my other Levi sculpts are, I want to say somewhere around 6.5. Some of them even as slight as 4.5. This little guy is 8 pounds. I should call him my big guy, because he is quite weighty. And I kind of want to get him like full length in there so that you can like really see him. He is cute. He definitely, again, reminds me of a little bit older baby. You know, I was saying a couple weeks, maybe more like, 3 months already, 3-4 months. He is a cutie. And I have several more Levi's to show you guys. And I think I'm going to start popping some of them next to each other just so that you can see up close the difference in the artistry between each nursery and each painter. It's just amazing. Again, the reason I have him up alone and I didn't pair him with somebody else is because he is so different than some of my others. And he's weighty. He actually feels thicker. His body is softer, more like a doe skin, or almost like a suede. So whatever nursery did him, they did such justice. He's so gorgeous. Kind of want to get in there to those rooted eyebrows. A little top of the hair. Like I said, he had a hat on, so his hair's a little messy from the hat. But he even has like really the sideburns, the really delicate little sideburns with little tiny hairs. And I don't name my dolls. I know a lot of people do. So this is just my darker Levi sculpt. I call him my little boy with the dark hair. Reminds me very much of my kids when they were little. All right, so I am back with 2 more. And I wanted to show you the difference between 2 different artists. Now, both of these babies, in comparison to some of my other Levi's, are very pale. So where the last baby had more of a reddish and Mediterranean skin tone, because he's a little tanner, and some of my other babies had very, very newborn, very red skin tones. And I think I even showed you one that was a little bit tan. These two are very, very pale. I don't know if they're coming across on camera again as pale as they actually are here. So the first little girl, she is a Baldy. And I've actually thought about piercing her ears. So what I love about this one is it actually shows how amazing the sculpt work is. And you can see the bones and the soft spot. It is just an amazing sculpt again. But this doll actually has a lot of modeling also, although she's very, very light. Her little, trying to get her hands into the picture, her hands have very, very fine veining, although it's not showing up as well, just to barely see it. Lots of blushing, lips are very pale. She's got that lovely, lovely little, what I call sucky lip, where they've sucked the color out of the very middle of the lip, top lip. Very, very light, almost non-existent eyelashes and pretty much non-existent eyebrows. And then her little feet, I'm trying to get her little feet up. It's just a little bit paler in the center, and actually I can see the light blue in them, but I don't know if it's coming across as well. Where in this little guy, his feet are a little bit more red, and their little toenails, their little toenails are just amazing. So this little guy I bought secondhand also. I believe he is from Real or Reborn also. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that that's what the woman that I bought him from told me. His hair painting is amazing. It's very dark. But I'm going to try to move his face a little bit so you can see his coloring. He's very light. He's actually very light compared to my other two Real or Reborns. And again, all of my dolls have their COAs. They are all Bonnie Brown sculpts, all original Bonnie Brown sculpts. So the reason I wanted to have these two together to show you is you can see that there's the same sculpt, but you can definitely see the difference in artistry and how each baby looks a little different. So those are two of my, pretty much, I want to say, I think those are two of my latest finds. My more recent finds. And again, I'm going to make sure that, like, when I, kind of try to get them all together, can really see the difference in that skin tone. The little boy is very textured, where the little girl, not really. She's not shiny. She's definitely matted well, but the little boy, you can feel the texture on his skin. And again, I believe the person I purchased him from said that he was from Real or Reborn. They are actually very sweet together. I think I might keep these two together. Try to pan out a little bit so you can see them a little bit better. I don't want to get anybody else in the background. So this little guy is from Rocking Horse Nursery. I purchased him, I believe, off of either Etsy or eBay. And I was kind of intrigued because he's done a little bit differently than my others. He's a little paler than my other dolls. He also has combi hair, but combi hair in a very different way. So instead of just having combi hair just on top, this artist, I want to bring him out, underneath his rooted hair has a full head of hair, kind of adding to that fullness. It's very curly, and he was really interesting. He's an interesting little guy. He's a little bit different than my others. He doesn't come across, as I'm looking at my camera, he doesn't come across the same way as he does in person. So his lips are not as pink in person. And again, he's by Rocking Horse Nursery. He's not quite as detailed as my others. And he's not textured like my others, but he's very interesting. He's a very different rendition, I think, of Levi. And I think what really drew me again is that combination hair, and I'm kind of trying to bring it in so you can see the painted under that rooting, which is what I thought was really cool. He does have some baby scratches. But again, he is quite pale compared to some of my other Levi's. But he is pretty cool. And just so that you know, his lips are definitely not this pink in person. I think my camera is kind of showing him. I wonder if I can move his head. Showing them a lot more pink than they actually are. And like I said, even his little hands, he's kind of a pale little guy. His nails are done very, very well. So that is my little Levi by Rocking Horse Nursery. So these are the last two for today. And I think in total, I think I've showed you about 11 of my Levi's. And I'm a little afraid that this video is going to be so long you're not going to want to sit through it. So I think we're going to stop at these last two. So again, how I was talking about how two artists can make dolls look so totally different. So this little blonde girl, she came to me. I bought her off of eBay. I am her second owner. Someone had this doll custom made for them. And I'm not really sure what happened, but apparently there was some kind of problem with the paint on the nose. I don't know if there was plastic that got stuck to the nose, but she returned it back to the artist, and the artist repainted the nose, but it was still rather red. So she sold the doll, not happy with the way that it came out, and I purchased it and went, I can fix that, because she's too beautiful of a doll and too beautiful of a paint job. So whoever her artist was, kudos. You are amazing. So this doll is very textured. I'm going to kind of bring it forward so you can see the texture and all the little fine beauty marks, all the little fine veining on the face. The cheeks look like very rosy. The lips are kind of pale. And the nose is just slightly red. It's not as red, when I did get her, it was kind of purpley. And I went, no, I'm going to fix that. So I did. And she's just gorgeous. She's weighty. She's a good 7.5 pounds. So she is the second heaviest doll that I have in my Levi collection. And again, she's just really, really pretty. I'm just trying to let her lean back so I can also show you the fine details of her hands. And I'm realizing the lighting in my room, some of these things might look a little bit shiny in the lighting of my bedroom, but they are not. None of these dolls are shiny. So I really do think it's just my camera. So again, she is really, really pretty. She's a really pretty doll. And she looks very realistic. And so this is her little friend. I love this skin tone that this person created. It is just a beautiful ethnic baby. And she's got a lot of hair. So I'm going to pull back the top a little bit so you can see she definitely has a lot of hair. And her paint is just absolutely amazing. She does have some fine veining. Not quite as much fine veining as some of my others, but she's got a little stork bite right in her eye area, like almost by her eyebrow. Her lips are very pale. Her fingers are done very well. Great blushing and great nail beds. And I do have her kind of wrapped up a little bit in a beautiful Kate Quinn little bag outfit. But I just kind of wanted to show you the two of them together and just how absolutely different they are from one another. And that is my Levi collection. And I'm going to get them all together, try to go across so you can see them all together. So again, you can see all the very different artistic renditions of this doll and the different skin tones. Okay, so here are all my Levi's together. And I'll try to get in a little closer so you can see they all look a little different from one another. Just a bevy of babies on the bed, guys. Thank you for joining me. I know this is a longer video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my different Levi dolls. There's a few I didn't put up yet because I just took me so long to create this video. And if you watched it all the way through, thank you. And if you're back, thank you for coming back and visiting under the willow tree. Bye for now.